Hi guys, Mickey here, Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. I hope you're all having a great week wherever you are. I've managed to get outside. It's fairly local. Basically what we've done, we've brought the little dog out for a walk to one of the local parks. So I'm going to do a quick little video from here. Now this park is a wildlife sanctuary as well. So again, I can't light a fire out here. I'm not going to build a permanent shelter. I am just going to do a quick chat, a quick video, so you guys got something nice to watch this week. Anyhow, we keep coming back to the weather, cold weather and all the rest of it, and I keep saying to people, the one bit of kit I carry always in my gear is my bivvy bag. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick video today on the two types of bivvy bag I've got. One of those I've only received recently, but I tell you what, it's a game changer. And I'm just going to have a bit of a talk about bivvy bags, the whys, the wherefores, the good, the bad and the ugly. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll crack on with that now. So guys, your standard bivvy bag, okay, standard British military issue bivvy bag. It's made from Gore-Tex. Gore-Tex is a breathable material. Do excuse me. Right, guys, British issue bivvy bag, Gore-Tex bivvy bag. Gore-Tex was developed in the 1960s, okay. It is a polyamide what have we got here? 100% polyamide and PTFE membrane, okay. Now how this works is quite simple. It's breathable. Everything we'd had before this was sealed plastic. It condensated on the inside, so it got moisture in it, although it kept the rain off. Okay. With this invention, what they did was they came up and they put very small pores in it. Now the pores are small enough to let vapor molecules, i.e. air, in and out. However, tight enough to keep water out. Okay. Now one of the things you've got to think about with one of these is as soon as you made a hole in it, it's ruined. Okay, so if you are going to carry a bivvy bag, one of the things I suggest you carry with yourself, okay, on your adventure, there's a small roll of duct tape. Okay, if you get this near a fire or you get sparks onto it, it's got a hole in it, and I can guarantee you, even the smallest hole, water will find a way in. It's got a way of doing that. So a little bit of duct tape, right, just a 1-inch roll of gaffer tape, and that way if you get a hole you can seal it. Okay, the knack is keep the moisture out, not inside. Now on the British issue ones, it's plain on the inside and it has a taped seam. Okay, the early ones were quite tight. The later ones, as you see, that's the neck, across my shoulders there, probably get two of us in there, okay, are quite broad, because one of the complaints that was coming back from the servicemen was it was a pain in the arse to get in and out of. Okay, if you imagine being in a lie-up position or a basher at night, you get a stand to, you're inside a sleeping bag, you're inside this, you've got to crash out of everything, okay, and they could be a bit fiddly. Now, there is a difference between the UK Forces bivvy bag and a lot of the other people or a lot of other countries' bivvy bags, and that is this contains no zip. Okay, this bivvy bag from the foot to the top is sealed. There is no zipper. Okay, and there is a very good reason for this. Okay, and that reason is whales. Okay, zippers are always a weak point. Okay, they're always an area where moisture can work its way in, where they damage and that. This system was developed and designed so that we could use it in places like Wales, and it is leak proof. It is absolutely waterproof. Now, if you're looking at buying yourself a bivvy, as a survival bivvy, this is the one I'd recommend. It's the UK Forces one, and the reason being is it's sealed. Now, along with your bivvy, you want a roll mat ideally. Okay, you need to protect that from the ground. It's not thermally efficient. Okay, so your back laying on the ground is going to get cold. The heat's going to transfer through quite quickly. If you've got a roll mat, It's going to protect the bivvy bag from the ground, so sharp, pokey things aren't going to come through. It's also going to give you a little bit of a thermal barrier. Okay. Now, in a survival situation, no sleeping bag, which is one of the reasons I carry this, with my warm kit on, I can get inside this and it will keep the weather, the conditions, the wind off me. Okay. I can already feel my body heat starting to build up a little bit in here. Okay. But where the material touches my skin, I can feel the cold. Okay, so you really need that thermal barrier between you and the bivvy bag. Okay, so a sleeping bag inside this really improves it, but in an emergency, it will do. It will save your life. Okay, and the most important thing is it keeps the wet off. And as I'm always saying, you can survive the wind, you can survive the cold. But if you combine, and you can survive the wet, but if you combine the wet with cold, yeah, you're in trouble. It sucks the body heat out of you very, very, very quickly, and you will very fast go down with hypothermia, especially even on days like today. In actual fact, the days like today are the tricky days. These are the days that will catch you out. These are the days when you go out and you think, it ain't too bad, I'll be all right, and it goes wrong. So that's the British Army bivvy bag. Now you can pick these up quite cheaply. Okay, I will say, buy the best grade, the best quality you can. Okay, they're ex-services, they've been used. Okay, if you can find, like I did with this one, a brand new sealed in the bag bivvy bag, that's the one to go for. Even if it's going to cost you a little bit extra, it's worth going for. It's not going to have any pinholes in it. Some dirty squaddy hasn't had his boots in it. Okay, when you get home, you turn it inside out, you clean it. Again, if you've got debris inside there, you store it, it's going to rot the material. So that's the British Army bivvy bag. Absolutely superb. British Army bivvy bag. So I'm laid out on the deck here. As you see, I'm in my bivvy bag, it's not a problem. Okay, I can be cinched in, so I cinch myself in, pulls the hood up around my head, nice and tight. Now, it ain't too bad at the arm end with it open like this, and you can put a hoop on there. You can rig it for a hoop, okay, so you can produce a hoop bivvy. But from a tactical point of view, not quite so efficient. Right? And the reason being, having to get out of this in a hurry, as I said before, it can be a nightmare. Okay, but I'm laying here on this roll mat on the ground. The ground is damp, okay, and I'm dry. I'm absolutely dry, and I'm warm. I can actually feel the heat starting to bounce back off of the roll mat into the bivvy bag. Okay. And we're at about 7 degrees today, according to the car when I was coming down, so it is a little bit on the nippy side. Okay, foot room, plenty of foot room. So you imagine this with your sleeping bag and that, you're laughing. So this, for a lot of guys, I'd say is a great go-to. Okay. Now what we'll have a look at, we'll have a look at the one that John sent me from the States, and we'll see what we think of that. And as I said, can be a pain to get out of. If you imagine having a sleeping bag in there as well, that's the downside. But if it's keeping you, if you need to keep warm and dry in really extreme conditions, it does the job superbly. So let's try this baby out. Okay. So, this is the American issue bivvy bag. Now, I will say, this bivvy bag is of a thicker material than the UK bivvy bag. It's Gore-Tex still. I did wonder at first if it was actually double lined, but it's not. It's slightly thicker material. The overall size of the bivvy bag once you're in it is smaller. It's not as wide. Okay. It is very warm. I can actually feel more heat being trapped in this one than I could in the UK one. But again, your sleeping bag is going to make the difference there. But this has one major bonus. That's the same bonus as the Dutch hoop bivvy. And that is you can unzip it. So for getting in and out, that is a game changer. And for somebody like me who does not like to sleep constrained, I hate to be wrapped up, I hate to be packed into something, this is a bonus, because in a lot of situations I'm not even going to do it up. I am just going to use it as a rain shelter or a weather shelter for a bit of protection. That's the American bivvy. Now, wait for the helicopters to go away. Okay, for me, this bivvy bag is a game changer. And the reason it's a game changer is that's it. Also, over the Dutch bivvy, it's thicker. Okay, so I feel that it's going to stand up to the conditions a little bit better. It's going to be a bit more resilient. Okay, if you roll off your roll mat, it's going to have a little bit more thermal efficiency, which I'm noticing already. Okay, it has just that little bit more protection from the outside thermally. It's going to be just as good water-wise. The only downside with a zip is always it's a weak point for moisture. However, it has a very good storm flap, and this storm flap has poppers, so that you can either, if you don't want to use the zippy, if you're in a damp environment, it's warm, you can just use the poppers and have even more airflow. Okay, and if it's really bad, then you can zip up, put the poppers on the storm flap, and you're pretty much as sealed as you would be in a British issue bivvy bag. Now the interesting thing is, and something I would love to try out at some point, is you can fill the British Army bivvy bag with water and hang it like a bladder. It is 100% waterproof and sealed, complete thing. Okay, if you're in it, you're in it. The zipper I'm not so sure about, but from a realistic point of view, am I going to sleep in a river? I'm not. Okay, if the conditions are getting that bad, I'm going to move. The UK bivvy bag, pretty much you can sleep in a river. As long as your head's out of the water, you're away. The US one, not so much so, I wouldn't have thought. However, I do like it, and personally, and it's purely a personal point of view, because of this zipper, I prefer it. It's what I'm going over to. It's what I'm going to be using from now on. Okay, so my good old-fashioned UK bivvy bag is going to be kept in my car for emergency uses. This is going into my kit for my adventures. So that's the differences. That's two bivvy bags, and the reason for having a bivvy bag with you, even if you haven't got a sleep system, okay, you're protected. It's a shelter. It's a one-man weather conditioned shelter. It will protect you from the wind, it will protect you from the rain, it will protect you from moisture. It's breathable. You're not going to build moisture up on the inside of it. It could potentially save your life if you're outdoors. So my advice to you still remains the same. Whether it's UK, whether it's Dutch, whether it's British or American, or any other nation's bivvy bags, or even if it's a civvy one, get yourself a good quality Gore-Tex bivvy bag. Now, another thing to think of with a bivvy bag is there's another layer, okay, and it's a thermal cushion. So if you've got a sleeping bag that goes down to 5 degrees, you put it inside a bivvy bag, it's probably going to go down to -5 degrees. You're probably going to gain, and I wouldn't swear to it science-wise, but I would say, and I would look at myself gaining that amount of extra protection, because you're creating another layer. You're creating an air gap between the sleeping bag, the bivvy bag, and the outside conditions. So you're improving your situation even more. Okay. This has been Mickey, Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. Thoughts and ideas on bivvy bags. Just a quick video for this week. Hope you enjoy it. Guys, stay safe, have your adventures, look after yourselves, get outdoors, have fun. Please like, subscribe, share. We're not long now, and hopefully we'll be at 1,000 subscribers. We'll be able to do our double giveaway. And pop over and see us on a Sunday night for the live chat. Hampshire Outdoors and Survival, 2000 hours UK time. Guys, I'm waffling now. Love those you do, forgive those you don't, and as always, peace and light be upon you all. This is Mickey, Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. Take care, Mickey out. I love you.